This is China Uncut, bringing you raw, unfiltered news from China. I'm Jennifer Zhang. Tonight, the CCP's new security law, a landmark U.S. conviction against CCP repression, and Beijing's fear tactics over spies. Let's dive in. The CCP's new law, effective September 2025, tightens security around military facilities, sparking concerns over increased secrecy. The CCP State Council and Central Military Commission issued the Important Military Facilities Protection Ordinance, effective September 15, 2025. The 51-article rule aims to secure key defense sites, boost military research, and modernize China's armed forces. It designates protected zones around facilities with strict access controls and outer security perimeters. The law mandates emergency plans, risk assessments, and internal security measures. Governments and facility managers must integrate protection into national planning, with local authorities ensuring compliance. Analysts suggest the ordinance reflects Beijing's push to fortify its defense infrastructure amid growing global tensions and scrutiny of its military ambitions. Critics warn the broad measures could deepen secrecy, limit public access near key sites, and further militarize China's domestic policies, potentially impacting local communities and foreign relations. A New York man who ran an illegal Chinese police station in Manhattan's Chinatown faces up to 3 years in prison, marking a landmark U.S. conviction against the Chinese Communist Party's overseas repression. Chen Jinping, former Secretary General of New York's Changlei Association, will be sentenced on May 30, 2025, in Brooklyn Federal Court after pleading guilty in December 2024 to conspiring as an unregistered agent of China's government. Prosecutors say Chen and co-defendant Lu Jianwang, ex-president of the Changlei Association, operated an undeclared police station for China's Ministry of Public Security. The Chinatown office, closed in 2022, posed as a service hub for driver's licenses but secretly gathered intelligence and harassed dissidents. Prosecutors seek a 36-month sentence, citing Chen's role in contacting Chinese officials, deleting a news article to hide the station's existence, and erasing communications with the CCP during an FBI probe. Chen's lies and deletion of evidence, including from a bathroom during an FBI interview, hindered the investigation. They argue his actions prioritized the CCP's interests over U.S. sovereignty. Chen's lawyer, Susan Kellman, seeks no prison time, claiming his remorse and limited role. Chen, a U.S. citizen since 2004, sold his restaurant to avoid Chinese consulate ties and has no prior record. However, the judge warned that citizenship fraud could lead to deportation. The case highlights the CCP's transnational repression, like the fox hunt targeting dissidents. Lu Jianwang denies the charges. Prosecutors say a strong sentence will deter others from aiding the CCP's illegal operations in the U.S., a concern echoed by community leaders urging Chinese immigrants to resist CCP influence. The CCP's Ministry of State Security warns that spies could hide behind identities like scholars, tourists, or lovers, a move analysts say aims to sow fear and hatred to bolster the Communist Party's grip on power. On May 25, 2025, the CCP's Ministry of State Security published an article on WeChat titled "Unveiling the End Faces of Spies," claiming foreign spies may pose as detectives, scholars, businessmen, tourists, lovers, journalists, visa officers, or NGO workers. It described detectives seeking sensitive tech data under the guise of consulting, scholars infiltrating universities for espionage, businessmen using investment to lure targets, tourists conducting covert mapping, and lovers manipulating students abroad into spying. The ministry urged citizens to report suspicious activities. Analysts argue this campaign isn't about catching spies, but creating a climate of fear. Sheng Xue, a writer and vice chair of the Federation for a Democratic China, told the Epoch Times that the CCP uses fear as a tool of control, encouraging citizens to view foreigners or those with overseas ties as enemies. Lai Jianping, a former Beijing lawyer, added that the ministry seeks to isolate China, incite hatred against outsiders, and justify tighter domestic surveillance to build a prison-like authoritarian state. The CCP's rhetoric comes as it faces growing international isolation from the US, Canada, Japan, the EU, and neighbors like Taiwan and India. Sheng Xue noted the CCP is deflecting domestic issues like economic decline, youth unemployment, and internal power struggles by blaming foreign threats. Lai Jianping called it a villain's preemptive strike, pointing out the CCP's own global espionage network, which US officials say is the world's largest, with an estimated 600,000 agents targeting American infrastructure. Critics warn the CCP's tactics may backfire. Sheng Xue said such fear-mongering alienates China from open societies and fuels internal regime conflicts. Data from Freedom House shows 937 protest incidents in China in Q3 2024, up 27% from the previous year, signaling growing public unrest. That's the unfiltered truth on China Uncut. From the CCP's secretive new law to a US conviction and a spy fear-mongering, we're exposing what others won't. Subscribe for daily news and follow us on X and Ganjin World for updates. This is Jennifer Zeng reminding you the truth matters. See you soon with more raw stories from China.